Welcome. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentuo Tahiru. Fentuo. It's another lovely weekend of sporting action, and we're here for the next 90 minutes to look back on all of it. And what's on the menu today? Finally, local football is back. CAF Champions League qualifiers took place at the Accra Sports Stadium. Accra Hearts of Oak were in action against CAFCL of Guinea. They secured a comfortable 2-0 victory. We'll show you the goals from that game, and then we'll tell you who their opponents in the next round are. And they are quite tough, quite difficult. How can Hearts of Oak negotiate that? Also, in the Premier League, it still remains the same. Deadlocked at the top. Nothing to separate those three teams. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, all three winning yet again and level on points. What's going on in the Premier League? We'll review the action. Of course, Sadio Mane setting records for Liverpool. 100 goals now, joins Mohamed Salah. Last week, the guys they had a small debate about who the greatest African player is. Mane wasn't even mentioned, but now he's joined Club 100. Has that changed the narrative? I don't know. In the Bundesliga, goal fest everywhere. Same in the Serie A. And the match just concluded in France, where the agenda has fallen inside water. I told you, PSG came from behind to beat Lyon. Everybody thought they were going to lose, so they go and troll Messi. He said no. But what's happening in La Liga too? Real Madrid losing to Valencia, did they? They were losing by the time I was coming here. I don't know if the result has changed. But there's all of that to come in the next hour and a half. Plus, all of your messages and all of the interesting commentary from my two great panelists in here. My name is Fentuo Tahiru. Fentuo. The show is live and interactive on social media. You know how to get in touch with us. Hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. Also with the WhatsApp number that's on your screen, +233 550 585 832. We will take a very, very short break. When we come back, I introduce the two musketeers and we can start rolling. Welcome back. This is Scorecard. Real Madrid, of course, doing the impossible, coming from behind to win that game against Valencia 2-1 when it looked like they were losing. Somehow they turned it around. Good for them. Really good for them, just like PSG did. All right, my guys are here. This man today, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but Christopher.
Do you have any problem?
I don't have any.
What do you mean you don't know what is going on with me? I'm neatly dressed as a married man. You are there. You want to. You keep bringing yourself to be bombarded. And you know where you're going. I'll bombard you.
You look good. I like your trousers. I like your fugu. You look very responsible.
I'm a responsible man. Don't say I look very responsible.
Ask him the question.
What I want you to know, if you get married, there are times when you dress, the women will look at you and say, no, this doesn't befit my husband. And today, this is what I took to church today. My wife dressed me, Mrs. Nimley.
Wow.
So when are you going to be dressed by a woman?
Charlie, how are you feeling?
I'm good, man.
Are you?
Look at me. Don't I look good? Don't I look good? I mean,
Daddy K, how are you doing?
I'm great.
You are?
Of course.
I mean, Hearts of Oak won, so obviously the two of you are very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where we'll begin. We'll begin by showing you highlights of that game between Hearts of Oak and CAFCL. So it was played behind closed doors at the Accra Sports Stadium, so empty stadium, nobody inside except, of course, officials and journalists. The first half proved quite tough, but in the second half, Samuel Boydu made changes, and the changes paid off. They won 2-0. Courtesy. He absolutely thumbed that in. No stopping that. Salim Adams signed from New Edibiasi, making his impact. And then also Kofi Koji, obviously, returning to the club for his second stint after that move to Qatar, scoring a brilliant free kick. He has a knack for scoring those. 2-0 victory in the end, Christopher. You have to say, thoroughly deserved for Hearts of Oak, but they had to work hard for that.
It wasn't that comfortable,
to
be honest with you, especially when we all knew that the game is a one-off. And at some point in time, you could clearly feel the tension, even within the technical team, within the entire Hearts of Oak playing body. And it was a very, very big relief when Kofi Koji curled that free kick into the back of the net. You could clearly see that it was again, all about the first goal. The moment that first goal went in and the Guineans decided to open up to play football, Hearts of Oak were only going to go again and score. I think once again, Samaboidu has proven that he knows his job. He knows his coaching.
Yeah.
Because the timing of the substitution and the impact that those two substitutes had on the game can only be credited to the manager. But I'm a very worried one, because once again, it comes down to the way we are managing our football here. I'm talking about the next game. At the time Hearts of Oak played their next opponent, I'm not sure whether we would have started our league by then, because there were moments in this game where if Hearts of Oak were playing the league, the intensity of the game would have gotten better. It got to a time where you could clearly see that the players were struggling for breath. They were very fatigued. And the next opponent, the league is ongoing. The next Hearts of Oak next opponent, I heard the game will be played, I think, on the 20th or 22nd of October. Somewhere.
The first leg is on the 17th, and then the return leg is on the 22nd.
Hearts of Oak play home first?
Yes, of course.
Goodness me, surely. Look, it is going to be even more difficult because of the quality of the opposition. But as a country or as a footballing people, the people at the FA, they wouldn't have given Hearts of Oak any chance whatsoever to progress to the next stage.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if you're going to play against a formidable opposition, the least you can do to help your cause is fitness-wise. Stamina have to be top-notch, because it is when the team is that fit, that is where they can match up to whatever tempo that the opponent will. And it's a North African country.
And they have already started their leagues.
That's what I'm saying. That
Egypt, Morocco, Algeria. We have started our league on October 29th.
Before our league starts, we'll be asking the champions of Ghana to go and virtually do the impossible.
And they would not have played a competitive game since what? When did the league end?
June.
August,
June, July. So August, September, October. Which means more or less close to
3 months.
But for this one, the last competitive game was 3 months ago. That is 90 days ago. Yes. Clearly unacceptable.
Right.
You can't do that. So the people at the FA, I would have thought that some form of top 4 competition would have been organized involving the top 4 teams in the league, so that primarily is to help the cause of the champions of Ghana to go and make us. Because look, Fent, we had 4 slots. So
we did. We had 4 slots.
We had 4 slots. That is 2 in the Champions League, 2 in the Comfort Cup. We've lost both. And what is even more serious this time around, we couldn't put up a rep in the Confederation Cup.
Unbelievable.
Can you believe it? This is the first time in the history of this country, I stand to be corrected, where we've had a completed league season, yet still there's a winner of the FA Cup. Of course, Hearts of Oak won the double. So as having won the double, they could have only chosen the competition they want to participate in.
Were those who were supposed to play in the competition.
Here's the case.
They didn't even apply for the CAF licensing for the CAF competition when the season started. So they had zero belief
that they would get that far. But Kotoko did.
Yes.
I think Mediama did.
Yes.
So couldn't this FA, couldn't the Ghana Football Association sit with Kotoko or Mediama and get one of them to go and represent Ghana? Give them whatever support they need. Because as it stands, should Hearts of Oak get booted out? We've
got to a point where we may even lose all the slots, and now we have to go and start from the very beginning. Prelims.
Can you imagine this?
Koranteng, your thoughts on that game? I mean, Hearts of Oak showed one side of the team that we've known about them, the fighting spirit. Like Nimley said, at the very beginning, it wasn't that great, and tension was starting to get in. But in the end, the goal came, 83rd minute, and they went on to wrap it up. Certainly, there were things that the coach and everybody else has to be happy about.
Look, if you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you should be absolutely delighted with what we saw today. It's not just because of the lack of fitness in the team, but a lot of people are forgetting that in as much as Hearts of Oak are a big team on the continent of Africa, this group of players and this technical team is very inexperienced when it comes to playing on the continent.
That's right.
I don't think there's a single one of them who has been there before, apart from the captain. I don't think, apart from Fatah, any of the players have been to or played on the African scene before. So this was the first time. Number two, first time at home, but not playing in front of your fans. You lack the fans at the stadium. So it was sort of a level playing ground. And then coach's point comes in about the lack of fitness. Now, when the game is growing, and this is a Hearts team that completed a league season where they dominated teams, attacked, scored goals, and were very interesting to watch. They almost had it covered. Each game, look, I think on the average, Hearts were leading by the 70th minute, so they are used to dominating games and used to that winning feeling. But as the game continued, after the 80th minute, Hearts had not taken the lead, and they understood the metrics of this game, knowing that had they ended in a draw, we were going to extra time and then penalties, and that would have been trouble. Straight to penalties, which has proven to be a problem for Ghanaian teams. So of course, if you look at these pointers, an inexperienced team, you expect them to crumble, but they kept believing, they kept fighting, and of course you have to give credit to the playing body and then the head coach also for letting them keep calm, understanding the assignment. And this, most of the time, this sort of performances comes with experience. But for somebody who has not even been there before, that becomes even a more commendable thing for he and the playing body to do. So look, you have to credit them. Of course, the next step is a huge one. It's going to be extremely difficult. Things have not been made easy for the club
at all.
But if you look at what Samuel Boadu and his playing body and the technical team have been able to do, I'm saying that even if Hearts will go out, they will not go out without a fight, and that is what some of us want to see. Some of us with a soft spot for the club, we want to see. They will not go out and be disgraced. They will go out and they will fight till the end. Exactly, as the slogan says, it is not over until the bones are rotten. And this team has shown so much fighting spirit, and they have to be commended. You look at Salim.
They had no, to be honest, they had no business. Hearts of Oak had no business winning the league
at all. Even you see, and even this game, you look at how good Kamza. Then look, that's why a lot of people are refusing to see. This is a team that won the Guinean league based on their defensive solidity. They hardly conceded goals. So the fact that they took Hearts of Oak to 80 minutes and Hearts were not able to break them down is testament to how strong they are. And
they took a set piece too.
They actually took a set piece. So look, defensively they are so strong, and you look at some of the performance in the Hearts team. Salim was playing his first competitive game for Accra Hearts of Oak, and it was a CAF Champions League qualifier. Somebody like that should be overawed by the occasion. But you look at the sort of performance he put out. The only thing you can do is to commend this team. They've done brilliantly well, even to make it to the next stage. And we can only hope that things align well for them to make it into the group stage.
You talk about the defensive solidity of the Kamsa team. 26 games, 16 clean sheets in the league.
Look, that's massive.
That is ridiculous.
That's massive.
That's ridiculous. It's crazy. So certainly they were always going to be a difficult team to break down. However, you can't help but wonder what the results would have been if this was a two-legged affair, and what Hearts of Oak were trailing from the first leg in this game at the Accra Sports Stadium. Could have brought something different from the team. You never know. But now, certainly, they get to face their biggest task yet. Wydad Casablanca are definitely one of the best teams on the continent at the moment. To be facing them this early in the qualifiers is a massive test of strength, massive test of character, and a massive test of quality of this Hearts of Oak team.
I hope the fans are allowed into that game.
I hope so too. Really unfortunately, the decisions are being made by CAF.
For me.
In fact, CAF, a day before the game, they even brought a directive that journalists needed to get COVID tests to access the game, and they don't even communicate early. It's the problem.
For me, fans or without fans, if our league was in progress,
you fancy Hearts of Oak against Wydad.
They won't lie low.
Of course, that's what Daniel said. They won't go down without a fight.
But look, with that competitive football, I'm a coach, so I'm imagining what Samuel Boadu is going through. Stress. I'm imagining myself in charge, doing all the practice at the training ground, rehearsing, not having a perfect competitive platform to get the boys to implement the sort of things I want to see them do.
Interesting. Anyway, so all the rest are hearts of folk. Certainly, you need to enjoy today's victory. Like Daniel said, you have to be very delighted with it. That's one progress. At least they get some money as well from CAF, so that's a positive thing. Let's take it to the Premier League. On Saturday, Liverpool took on Crystal Palace, and it was a game where African players basically dominated. 3 goals, 3-0, clean sheet, 3 points from 3 African players, one of them making history in the process. African power, African superpowers, really, from 3 African players helping Liverpool to the 3 points. Somebody said the AFCON is coming and it is scary. Christopher, but that was quite comfortable. Klopp said Klopp had to come out and defend Thiago. He says Thiago will come good. It's like Thiago is struggling. I'm not sure what's going on.
No, rather, in the 2 games I've seen him play,
it seems I've done well.
He's going to get better.
Yeah.
Don't doubt Thiago because he's a proper baller. All he needed to fine-tune was to get inclined with the tempo of the English game and he would dominate. And he's beginning to show signs of that. But like you rightly said, I'm worried that Ghana may not win the AFCON next January, because these are the quality we'll be competing against.
That's right.
There'll be Salah in Egypt, there'll be Sadio Mane, Senegal, then there'll be Naby Keita.
But this is the quality Man United will not be competing against.
No, but at the end of the day, it's not only Man United will not be competing against.
I know, I just used them as an example.
You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. You could have used your team as an example. You shouldn't be doing that.
So I can't set examples now with Man United.
It's okay. Having said that, let's talk about the game. I think it was in fact a very competitive game.
Yeah.
Until the first goal went in, Crystal Palace themselves had some decent chances. And I think that Patrick Vieira completely changed the average age of this team. With time, they'll get to understand what he wants them to do and they will come good. But if you are Jurgen Klopp, this is what you want to do. He has the luxury of changing basically, the
fullbacks.
There was
both
no
of them were
Robert,
changed.
There was no, and then even the centre-back pair. These were the first time we saw Konate play alongside Virgil van Dijk.
He looked good.
Yeah, of course, he's a solid player.
Yeah.
He's an academy boy. So those boys that goes through these academies, they know their football very well and they will play as at when they are required to do so. Another thing that we need to point out is the dominance of Fabinho. Look, the presence of Fabinho is going to liberate Thiago Alcantara. If I'm the coach, I want Fabinho and protecting the back four and Thiago a bit high up the pitch, because there will be times where you have to play in between the channels. And no one does that better than Thiago. So this Liverpool team is going to go strong. It's going to go strong. But like you rightly said, I believe to win the league, they'll have to open a minimum of 9 to 10 points.
Before the AFCON.
Anything short of that, I think they will fall short.
Daniel, you agree?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's 2 of their main goal scorers being taken out for almost a month. And that
More than a month.
More than a month.
Because there's camping, then there's tournament.
Of course. So from about late December to mid-August or ending of August, depending on how far the 2 teams go. So it's going to be difficult for them. And trust me, with the way things are going, Liverpool need to start praying that Man United and Chelsea start dropping points as quickly as possible. Because look, coach is perfectly right. This Liverpool team is good, but we said it at the start of the season, they lack depth. And that is what will come back to haunt them. Because trust me, no January signings are going to be enough or up to the level of Salah and Mane. They should have done some good business in the transfer window. And I always say an extra forward and a midfielder just to be sure that they'll be able to survive that AFCON period.
You think Jota and Origi are not it?
Jota and Origi are not it. And just a case study.
Jota, yes.
Look, Jota is, but of course Origi is not. Case study is the first half in the Champions League.
Yeah.
When he decided to bench Sadio Mane, he started with Origi, Liverpool struggled. Yeah. And then Mane came on, and this is a Mane who's not even on form this season. And all of a sudden, the second half takes a turn. So look, there's difference in quality. No matter how good a system is, you still need quality players to be able to execute and put the plan to to proper use. So look, Liverpool will struggle come the AFCON time, but of course, as coach has said, they will be riding on this period. Get as many points under your belt as possible, so that when that period comes, you can drop points without suffering too much.
So Liverpool, with very identical results as Chelsea, they've considered just 1 goal this season. They've scored, I think, as many as 12. So that's quite interesting for them. Let's take you to a team that is now on a winning streak. Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal were in action, I think, away to Burnley, I believe. Yes, they won by 1-0. Courtesy a wonderful strike from Martin Odegaard. All right, so Arsenal getting another 1-0 victory. That's now 2-2 for them. It's a streak. Koranteng doesn't want to agree it's a streak, but it's a streak. 2 wins out of 2. Thomas Partey was substituted earlier, and there were fears that he was injured again, but that was clarified. Apparently, they're trying to ease him back into action, so they didn't want him to last too long in the game and strain some muscles. So it was only precautionary. He's not injured. But Daniel, briefly on Arsenal before we take our first break, you don't.
But I mean, two wins on a row, English language, that is not a streak. I think you need 3 or more. Yeah, you need more. But look, it was a very important victory for Arsenal. Last week I sat here, I said this is probably the most important game of their season, because next week they face Tottenham in the North London derby. Yeah, that will be difficult. But interestingly enough, if Arsenal beats Tottenham next week, both teams are on the same points. And going into the international break, Tottenham were top, Arsenal were bottom, and all of a sudden things are beginning to turn around. But I like the way Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are approaching the games. They understand where they are. They have accepted their level, and they know that they are not necessarily up there as it stands. Right. So it's about approaching games cautiously, being smart about things, get your goal, try and protect, not necessarily sitting back and allowing your opposition to come, but controlling the tempo of the game, taking the steam out of it, and not allowing your opposition to come at you with much force. And if you look at how Arsenal's defense is, which is not the best, I think that's the best sort of defending, or the best way to defend the ball is to keep the ball and not allow the opposition to have it. So it was a smart way of going about things. Okay. Of course, I thought Burnley will worry them in terms of the aerial balls and things, but Arsenal were able to handle it and limit the amount of chances that Burnley had through set pieces and goals. So all these things, look, it goes down to coaching. You have to say good job, Arteta. But 2 wins out of 5 is not Arsenal's level. He needs to go on a streak now.
And the next week on Spurs.
Yes, he needs to beat Tottenham Hotspur. I think that will be the beginning of Arsenal's season. If they can get that 3 points, or those 3 points against Tottenham Hotspur, I think their next couple of fixtures are a bit manageable for them. So if you can beat Tottenham Hotspur, that gives you a lot of confidence going into the international break, and then you can come back and continue that fine form.
Okay, so Arsenal in a happy place at the moment. So massive congratulations to all the Arsenal fans. I mean, at the moment,
for beating Burnley, massive congratulations.
No. You see, it's 3 points. 3 points are 3 points.
But your choice of words, I mean,
congrats to them.
You're intentionally doing this thing.
Please, 3 points are 3 points. Congratulations if you're an Arsenal fan. You deserve it. Enjoy the win. We'll take a very short break, our first one. When we return, I'll read some of your messages, and then we show you some more highlights from the Premier League. This is Scorecard. Welcome back. You're watching Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me read some messages here. This one says, good evening, friend. Has is now bringing the spirit of 2000 back. We believe in you guys. That's David from Tichiman. This one said, did I hear the Kamsa coach say we only got to know that we are playing Hasselhoff on Wednesday? Has won, but the team lacked experience and cutting edge, and I was surprised Kofi Koji was kept on the bench till the 80th minute when Isaac Mensah couldn't find the means to move. Lamptey Joshua from he's not from. His name is Lamptey Joshua Chabalala. Interesting. Good evening, Fentuo. I'm KB from Kumasi. I can't stop watching you and your lovely crew every Sunday. In fact, your sports program is great. Chelsea is yet to meet its bitter in the Champions League soon. Interesting. Ademako in Ewutu Pojasi says, Osei the Blues, we are going to conquer the EPL this season. TT is really building a team which teams will fear to play. Thank God Phobia won today. My night is complete. I'm reading these messages from WhatsApp, of course. More messages. Skin Churches inside some simple answers. Good evening, Fentuo. The first time I see a tactical local coach who will not finish a match and say the match was difficult, by the grace of God we won. You're talking about Samobodi. Man City, you say, will come back stronger, but my fear is Chelsea. They are my headache now. Don't bother buying para. The headache will go on for a while. This message is from Napoleon in Tumu, Sankofa base. Shout out to all the people of Tumu, my people. House of Oak should lift up their game against Raja Casablanca. They are playing without Casablanca, which is different from Raja Casablanca. So, you say the 2 late goals that they score indicate that they will not reach the money zone. Okay. Nyami in Zawam Tactics from Lashbi says, today is bright, all because of Good Day energy drink. Charlie, every position, Good Day energy drink. Look at him tolerating such mediocre mentality. Ole Pan, we are united. FFS. Aim should be playing in UCL finals and not getting not qualifying for Europa League finals. And if we do so also, we should be winning that cup and not just warming up in the finals. This mentality won't take us anywhere. Please leave. He's not happy. Castro from Mefijasi says, good evening, Scorecard crew. In fact, the Black Stars job should be given to the House of Folk coach. Interesting perspective. Hello, guys. I'm Isaac from Akwetiako. What a weekend for me. Thanks to the Continental Club Masters and the Champions of Europe for making my weekend good. Man City is the next victim. This one says, Real Madrid spirit is just like House of Folk spirit. They never say die until the bones are rotting. Dagla from Deyan Kwanta sent that message. More messages on WhatsApp. Good evening, comrades. For Chelsea to match Chelsea to match Liverpool results from match day 1 is something else, but to match Liverpool today is emphatic. Ren Hasaki in Achimota. Let me read more messages. Going to Twitter, take a few from there. Nia Dote Thompson says, I'm enjoying the show, guys. As always, lovely to have you on my set on Sunday. Great seeing Hearts and Man United win. Feeling good, you say. Efo Sedem doesn't understand why I'm laughing plenty tonight. I'm always laughing. Ket Kufuor says, Salah and Mane will miss just 2 league games when they leave for the AFCON. That's Palace and Brentford. Okay, interesting. They have done the calculations already. Because they say there will be winter break. You see, they said there's winter break. So
winter break with who? In England?
The Premier League.
Yo.
Yeah, you know, the teams, they play, 10 teams play one weekend, then another 10 teams play the next weekend. They all don't play, so maybe
that's just for the first 2.
That's just for the first. But tell them that by the rules, they'll have to be released 14 days to the tournament.
That's true, 2 weeks. So are you saying that before December so like a 1 month space, Liverpool played 2 Premier League games, is what he's saying. Okay, maybe, I don't know. George Alma says PSG are having top players, but they don't have a team. Interesting. This is from Wawa Ambry. Says the smoke is elegant on my guy tonight. Proud seeing him in it.
Thank you, my young brother.
Yeah. Ellie Fearless says much credit should be given to the coach Samuel Boyd for his tactical masterclass. It takes a coach with balls to even sack his players who have no experience playing at this stage and get such a great result. I love Coach Nimley's cute smog. I'm feeling good. That's right. Samuel Boyd trains his team with lots of footballs. So he does have a lot of balls. I agree with that. Given to him by the GFA. It donated a lot of balls.
Let's move on
to him. Poison Cutsin says, Man United win. Individual brilliance like Ronaldo, Bruno, De Gea, but Chelsea teamwork and coach philosophy is what is giving them the win. The difference between Ole and Tuchel. Kwame Safu Kakari says, good evening, guys. My AC Milan is on fire. We did not disgrace ourselves in the UCL. Today against Juve, they played their hearts out and we shared the points. Interesting, yeah. Milan came from behind to get a result in that game. Anyway, I'll read more messages as we go on. But let's take more highlights. This time, we go to Manchester United. They were at West Ham at 1 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. They fell behind, showed character, came back. Ronaldo scored in his third consecutive game in all competitions. And then J Links came off the bench to secure all 3 points for United.
Manchester United 2.
Charlie, De Gea saved the penalty. He saved it. De Gea saved the penalty. Man United got all 3 points. Congratulations, guys. David De Gea finally saved the penalty. And in the process, saved all the 3 points for United.
What do you mean finally saved the
He was doing his job.
That's shock.
The job he couldn't do against Villarreal.
He was doing his job.
He didn't know what his job was when they played Villarreal.
He was doing his job. At the end of the day, it's 3 points in the bag.
Now there was a cup anyway.
We watched the game, and everything did show that West Ham is indeed a very difficult team to play. With David Moyes, he's built a solid and formidable team. They know what they are about. They're well coached, well organized. At a point in time, it was becoming increasingly very, very clear that United will have to do something special to break them down. What a goal from Jesse Lingard.
Oh, God.
That wasn't a chance. He made it his own. He took up the responsibility, and he knew exactly where he had to put it to beat Fabianski. And the execution was spot on. Again, today in this game, Varane showed why United needed a centre-back like that. We watched the game, we did the game on radio, and it was again very clear that he's a top world-class defender. But Pogba was absolutely brilliant. Man United's biggest problem again is the young man from Brazil.
Fred.
Absolutely shambolic. Look, if at this level you cannot pass, receive and pass the simple ball, absolutely shambolic. You cannot be playing at this level if you cannot receive and pass. Under no pressure, he gives the ball away. And to me, something has to be done about it. But having said that, it was a proper footballing game. It was a game that the two managers knew the strength of each other, and they did everything possible to nullify the strength of the opponent and then maximize their strength against the opponent.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, granted, I think the young man is going to score over 30 goals if he goes on like this.
Of course.
Because he's now a proper number 9. And game after game, he will get chances upon chances.
He doesn't waste them.
And he'll put them in the back of the net.
Yeah.
He's not even started scoring with his head yet. But
because you don't have players who can cross the ball.
Come on, there were crosses in the box.
Cannot cross the ball.
There were crosses in the box. Ronaldo will score with his head. And he will score so many goals with his head.
You have to change Wan-Bissaka for that to happen.
Go and change him for us. You should go and change him.
Granting. From West Ham point of view, honestly, Nimley alluded to it. West Ham are a very difficult team to beat. I watched the first half. It was end-to-end stuff. It was incredible. West Ham are so good. And this was a West Ham team without Mikel Antonio, and they had the chance to make it 2-2 if Noble hadn't missed the penalty. Yes,
they did. But it wouldn't even have been a chance to make it 2-2 had the referee been serious today.
Right.
It should have been 3-1 or 4-1 by the time
Noble got his penalty.
Noble got his penalty. 2 clear penalties on Cristiano Ronaldo. And this week we've seen a couple of decisions like that from VAR that really doesn't make sense. Because I thought the job of VAR was to look when the referee had made a mistake and then ask him to come and look at it again.
Yeah.
And on both instances, the Ronaldo instances, the referee didn't even have a look at all. So it means what VAR saw, in VAR's opinion, the referee was right, which was very wrong. And look, that aside, I think West Ham lost it because they settled for a draw. And it was down to attitude. At the point where United badly wanted to claim all 3 points, that was when West Ham had resigned just to sit back and try and hold on. And you could tell the players themselves were not on the same wavelength, because as at the 89th minute, when you are deciding to sit back and defend, Lingard shouldn't have the amount of room that he had in the box. because it was in the 18-yard box. You cannot allow Lingard to have that much room. And this is a player that spends the last 6 months of last season with you.
So they knew this is what he would do if you give him the chance.
You know him. You've trained with him. You've worked with him. You've played with him.
Right.
You know exactly what he can do and cannot do. And for them to give him that much room, they were obviously punished. Of course, I've heard a lot of people give David Moyes a lot of stick for deciding to sub in Noble to play that penalty. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Noble has been on a penalty scoring streak, and you can't tell me that
he scored his last 10.
His last 10. Look, and I'm looking at it from this point of view. Are you telling me that if a penalty comes in the first few seconds of the game, the player is okay for the player to miss it because that is his first touch or he has not warmed up into the game? No, a penalty is a penalty. He's experienced enough to take the penalty. I think we should give credit to the goalkeeper, David De Gea, for the save.
That was a good save.
Yes, other than give stick to David Moyes, because David Moyes did what any manager would do. Trust your most trusted scorer to come in and take the kick, and it's just unfortunate Noble missed.
All right, so Man United getting all 3 points, going top of the table momentarily, of course, before Chelsea went to the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to take on biggest London rivals, Spurs. In the end, Thomas Tuchel's side were very comfortable in securing all 3 points, winning by 3-0. Statement victory indeed for Chelsea, top of the table, conceded just 1 goal, that penalty at Liverpool. Now scored 12 goals in the league, unbeaten so far. Of course, they have the same number of points as Liverpool and as Man United. The only difference is that they have a better goal difference than Man United. But then they're level with Liverpool, same number of goals scored, same number of goals conceded. The only reason Chelsea are top is because they played Liverpool already and got a draw away from home. Daniel, this I will take your thoughts. I mean, Thomas Tuchel, when he came in, he said he was going to build a team that nobody wants to play against.
Chelsea are so good.
Yeah.
It's scary. Look, this Chelsea team reminds me of Jose Mourinho's Chelsea in his first stint. They are that good, well drilled. And the thing about it is that when they walk onto the pitch and they take shape, you don't know how you're going to score them first before you can even start thinking about how to beat them. How many opportunities did Tottenham Hotspur get in terms of openings? You can count them. And even those you'll be... It's like you are stretching it.
Chances,
look, half chances.
Like the Hurricane shot wasn't really a chance.
It's so difficult to carve them open. And even last week, Aston Villa's chances came by virtue of mistakes. Twice from Saul, and one was from a set piece, which under normal circumstances Chelsea easily deal with. So you've watched throughout this season, you go to the game against Liverpool. Liverpool created nothing the entire game. Got a penalty and scored, even with 10 men. This Chelsea team is so well drilled. And the thing is that we've seen teams execute back three systems to perfection. But this Chelsea team are able to play a back three. Look, Conte's team was brilliant, but you know how you can score Conte. We've seen teams match this Chelsea team, still lose. We've seen them go attacking, still lose. Sit back, still lose. It's very difficult to see how this Chelsea team is going to lose. And look, they are that good. He's managed to turn players around. Look at Rudiger right now. Look at the kind of football he's playing, the confidence he has.
Can't put a foot wrong.
And it is, I'm happy because when a proper manager comes and the system is working, it will start exposing the bad nuts in the team.
Managers.
Now, no, not the manager. I'm talking about the players.
Right.
Now you look at somebody like Mason Mount. Now every small mistake he makes is very loud.
Right.
Because the system is working, players are functioning. So any tiny mistake you do, everybody will see you. Under Lampard, I can promise you that Saul would have played 90 minutes in last week's game.
That's true.
And he would have looked average or very normal.
Mount would have lasted 75, 80 minutes or 90 minutes at least tonight.
Exactly. Look, Tuchel is so ruthless. And you see, in as much as man management is important, you have to get the results first. You satisfy the team before you satisfy players.
Right.
And that is what Tuchel thinks about. The results first. When I finish getting the result, then I can focus on how you are feeling. Today, Mount was not doing well in the first half. And you see, Mount's performance could easily have cost Chelsea because there were openings where he simply had to make a good decision and failed on countless occasions. So I don't have time for that. There's enough quality on my bench. I take you out, I'll bring somebody in. And Kante was a game changer.
Instant
impact in that second half. So, look, this Chelsea team is so nice to watch. I honestly really enjoy watching them because of the amount of and the influence of the coaching you can see in the team. And I'm as it stands, of course, they've already faced Liverpool. They've drawn that game. I want to see how Chelsea will face Man United, and not just because it's my Man United. Because if you've Tuchel's first game with Man United, Ole matched him, and that game ended in a goalless draw. Last season, even before Tuchel came, Man United and Chelsea also cancelled themselves
Another draw.
So I want to see how this will go around. And of course, the dynamics are interesting now because of Ronaldo. You know, he can score a half chance. Lukaku is also there. He can score a half chance. So I'm waiting to see how that game will go, because as it stands, honestly, I cannot pinpoint a team that in Europe that can beat Chelsea, and that is why they are European champions. That's
going to be, obviously, that United game, I think, is later in October or somewhere like that. But another team that could give them a really good competition is the next game against Manchester City this coming weekend.
Of course.
That would be a very exciting one.
I agree with everything Danny have said, apart from him saying he doesn't see a team that can beat Chelsea. What? They are good, yes. But they can be beaten, and they will be beaten.
Yes.
You know what?
That's the point. What he's saying is that he can't see who.
I can see.
And you can see who?
I can see Man City, I can see United, I can see Bayern Munich, I can see so many teams that will beat this Chelsea team. You doubt that? You see the way you are so quiet?
No, I'm looking at you. My producer is talking to me.
Bayern Munich, with the likes of Alfonso Davies ago, they beat this team with ease.
Coach, let me just put this on record. We'll be here next Sunday. I'm betting you that Chelsea will beat Manchester City.
Is he?
Manchester City will
and make it 4 out of 4.
And I'm not
you sat here, you swore that there was no way Chelsea would beat Man City.
It will not be a draw.
In the Champions League final.
Pay attention here.
You even put your appearance on this show
you don't
on the line.
No, hold on.
Again? I am reminding you when you were last wrong.
We are talking about what is happening now. You are dwelling in the past.
And now you're back again swearing.
I'm not swearing. Is he? Look at what you are saying.
No, swearing is an English word.
He says that he can't see. I say I can see. Do you have a problem with that?
You said you can see Man City, and Daniel said we'll be back here next Sunday.
And I'm saying that, God willing, next week Sunday.
Now you are counting on God.
Do you owe your life to yourself? No, he has a problem.
First, I think you have a problem. Relax.
No, I thought you were going to say God willing, we'll be back here with the Man City win.
No, I didn't say that.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
We'll be back here.
God willing, we'll be back here next week Sunday. We'll be back here like this.
Yes, look, inshallah.
Chelsea are playing good, but at the end of the day, I think there's a way to beat them.
Okay. That way. What's wrong with Spurs? That's what I really wanted you to talk about.
Look, there's everything wrong with them.
Yeah.
One, their players are not turning up. Their best player doesn't want to be there. That is Harry Kane. The quality of the coaching is a bit suspect. Because today, we were watching the games together. And I was pointing out, look, if he doesn't do this, Chelsea will score in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they scored. I said, he had to, if that, and then they scored. I said, but why is it that things that we can see with ease? In Adabraka, we can see with ease. And Nuno is just there with a bearded
You didn't just do that.
No, but he's bearded. And then he's doing looking hard. When you look hard, you have to see. You see, look. I remember very well when I was in school, Professor Boyanakwe, that's in his soul, rest in peace, my professor.
You have to make that snap. You have to take a break.
Of chemistry. Yeah. Whenever he comes to the lecture hall and he teaches it, and you're a young man, I can see you looking very hard. But what do you see? There's difference between looking and seeing. The man stands there today and he couldn't see the obvious.
You hold your horses. You're watching Scorecard on Citi TV. We'll take a very short break here and go away. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me read a couple of messages again. This one says it's from Nyami in Saum. Oh, Nyami in Saum Tactics from last week. mean some home tactics, okay. God's hand is inside tactics. It says today's a bright day, all because of the every position, and then you go on and on and on and on. All right, I think I read that message earlier, right? This one says, hello guys, I'm Isaac from Kotiako. What a weekend for me. Thanks to the Continental Club Masters. I think I read that. Hi. Coach Titi is really building a team no club would like to play against. Congratulations to Chelsea and Phobia for winning their respective matches. That's from Edem Lino in Adaklu in the Volta region. Good evening, boys. Can you predict the team who will win the EPL this season between United, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool? Nimley is the CEO. He can see. We can see. Skycon from Caslan City. Interesting. House of Folk need to up their game. Their first half was very bad and all the balls were floated into wasteland. Congratulations to Basake Holy Stars for qualifying to the Ghana Division 1 in his match to the world. Congratulations to Honorable Bonzo. You say Edu Kofi Evans in Eyinase Elembele. Eyinase, beautiful place. I love that place. Good evening, Scorecard crew. I'm Vincent Owusu from Poho. I heard you were praising Arsenal for 2 consecutive years. Have you noticed those 2 clubs they beat the 19th and 20th on the league table? Arsenal. Very soon, this message says the boys will be separated from the men. You're talking about Chelsea and Liverpool. Very, very soon. Kofi Amponsa in Konongo. All right. Let me take some more highlights. This time I'm taking you to Italy. That was where Inter Milan took... very dominant stuff from the champions, Inter Milan. What about Jose Mourinho's AS Roma? They started the season quite well. Tammy Abraham was scoring basa by heart anyhow every weekend. He said he was creating a monster in him. They went to Hellas Verona. They took the lead all right. Somehow Hellas showed more spirit than Jose Mourinho's AS Roma, came from behind to beat them by 3 goals. That was a fabulous strike indeed for Hellas Verona to secure all 3 points. Let me show you the full results from the Serie A this weekend. A game just concluded also as well between Juventus and AC Milan. It was the biggest game of the round. AC Milan came from behind to draw that game 1-1. Juve had taken the lead. Alvaro Morata with a 4th minute strike, but Milan rallied back. There you see the other results. Fiorentina's rise continues. Alfred Duncan came off the bench very early on in the first half, and he helped them to a 2-1 victory at Genoa. Atalanta also winning 1-0 at Salernitana. Sampdoria winning 3-0 at Empoli. Spezia winning 2-1 at Venezia. So a lot of away victories in the Serie A this week. Even Torino was very top there, also winning away from home to Sassuolo. And there you see the other results. So like I said, Juventus and AC Milan ended 1-1 there as well. All right, earlier, of course, I didn't show you the full results from the Premier League, so I'll just show you that very, very quickly from the Premier League match week 5. There you go, in case you were wondering or wanted to see them. There you go. It's very interesting results, but the standout one for real has to be Southampton's draw at Man City. Very, very crucial result that was showing a lot of defensive solidity as well. Newcastle drawing 1-1 with Leeds United. Aston Villa beating Everton 3-0. Not a lot of people saw that coming, but also a big surprise. Brighton winning 2-1 against Leicester. All right, guys, quick comments on the Serie A game that we just saw. I mean, obviously, it looks like AS Roma are going to be competitive under Jose Mourinho.
They will,
so that's why you have to be... He will be very disappointed with this result, especially considering that they took the lead.
Yeah, they are looking unlike his team, especially on the defensive.
Yeah.
You expect them against a team like Verona having taken the lead. They should be able to protect and go on and then build from that and go and win. This league, in my view, is Inter's to lose.
All right.
They are looking like, by far, the best team in the land now. One would have thought that having sold Romelu Lukaku, they will struggle. But look at the recruitment they did. In Edin Dzeko, he's not a Lukaku in terms of pace power, but in terms of intelligence and putting the ball in the back of the net, he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's also given them that option or that variation in attack. They can float the ball to him and Lautaro Martinez. Inter, they've done so well in keeping that boy. Because the teams that were after that boy, I think he's the game changer in that Inter Milan team.
Yes.
And again, the recruitment to replace the boy they sold to PSG, the Moroccan international, with the Dutch boy, Dumfries. It's like
nobody left.
Yeah. Nobody left.
Yeah.
Because you can clearly see the build-up.
So it's very seamless.
And credit must be given to this manager. He's not tempered with anything that Antonio Conte did.
Of course.
Inzaghi. He stuck to whatever Antonio Conte was doing, and he's beginning to get them to understand his tempo. I think the only difference is that they are playing at a faster tempo than we saw under Conte. And I think, look, Inter is indeed a fabulous team to watch.
Indeed they are. So we'll see what happens. But as things stand, Inter Milan top of the Serie A table, of course. AC Milan right behind them. They're actually level on points, and with 10 points each. And then you've got Napoli and AS Roma also with the same number of points, 9 points. They're just 1 point behind those. But Napoli have yet to play one game, so they have one game left. So if Napoli were to win their remaining game, they'll go top.
How many? Where is Juve?
Juventus
have 2 points.
I think 2 points.
It's not going that great. Juve at the 15. Moment, they're 18th.
Wow.
Juventus are 18th. Interesting, not too good. All right, let's move it on to the Goal Festival town. Bundesliga. It was a goal fest, starting with Borussia Dortmund. They took on Union Berlin. That game ended 4-2. Erling Haaland can't stop scoring. He got a brace.
Brilliantly here against.
All right, so they got their 3 points. What about Bayern Munich? Oh, goodness me. They took on newly promoted Bochum. They had no sympathy whatsoever, thumping them by 6-0. Oh, the goalkeeper did well. I feel for him. My bad. It was 7-0, not 6-0. Daniel, I'll give this one to you. I mean, to be fair, that was good from the Bochum goalkeeper. He was basically, in the end there, he had already
taken 6. 7 is not, there's no difference.
He was only trying to prevent the 7.
Allow the team to enter. It was very important for our brother Choupo-Moting. He was trying to prevent the thing from going. If you take 6, if you take 7, it's no anything.
Oh, goodness.
But look, Bayern are that good. The difference in quality is so vast. They will win the league.
Somebody was telling me that they have to ban them from playing in the Bundesliga. It's almost not fair. You know what they did to Leipzig?
Look, this is true. Look, we know Choupo-Moting. No disrespect. We know Choupo-Moting. He comes off the bench about 10 minutes, and he also has his goal. And I think this was a landmark goal for him. I've forgotten the record he set for himself. But it's like Nagelsmann was like, "Are you ready to break your record?" He said, "Yes." He said, come and score your thing." And then he walks on and he gets it. It's that easy for them. They scored 7. Lewandowski scores only 1. And you can tell he was pained by that, because he could easily have scored 5 in this game. That's the amount of chances that Bayern Munich created in this game. And look, we all knew this was going to be a thumping. We all knew. If you watched Bochum's form this season, you could only feel sorry for them. They are very lucky they didn't enter double figures. Thanks to their goalkeeper, of course. He had a personal score to settle. But look, Bayern will win the league. We say this every week, and it's true. They will win the league. But the main test for them is in that Champions League. Of course, they've already set there. Started very well with a 3-0 win at Camp Nou against Barcelona. They want to continue that when they get into the knockout rounds, because as I said, in Europe right now, personally, in as much as coach thinks that Bayern can beat Chelsea, I still feel Chelsea have the perfect antidote for Bayern Munich. So I think next year, in the second half of the season, when the Champions League enters the crunch time knockout round, that is where Bayern Munich will be tested. But until then, look, they are going to win. Even when they draw points, I think it will be by choice.
Yeah. Look, they are that good, okay? And they will not fear any opposition in Europe. The quality they've got, the all-round quality they've got, makes them favorite, even against the European champions, Chelsea. Chelsea will come in there hoping to nick it.
I don't think they'll be hoping. They'll come with a plan. Chelsea don't go into games hoping. They go with a plan. They've got a manager with a plan.
Oh, come on. If there's any team that knows how to beat Titi, it's Bayern Munich.
But I'm also saying that you said Chelsea will go hoping. I said they won't go hoping. Chelsea will go with a solid plan.
And there's a counter plan from Bayern.
Titi's last 2 games against Bayern, he won.
How many times did he play Bayern?
He lost his first one, and after that, he didn't lose again.
Then, which means in Germany, you mean?
Yes, in Germany.
Don't worry, he will meet him. He will meet them.
Nimley. Oh, Christopher Nimley.
He will meet them. Just, you see, don't get me wrong, okay? The thing is sounding as if Chelsea is an invincible. Come on, man. We've seen far better teams than this. What are you talking about? We've seen better teams.
You sound very pained.
No.
That Chelsea are getting all kinds of
Look,
praise.
I sit here and I say, the Chelsea team is that good. But I don't think they are that good to the extent that they should be seen as an invincible. This team won the Champions League. They placed 4th in the EPL. I don't use Champions League glory to grade a team. I don't do it.
So Champions League is nothing.
How many games? No, I didn't say that. You see, when somebody talks,
how do you say you don't use Champions League glory to measure the quality of a team?
Listen.
If there's anything at all, Champions League is the only competition where no
knockout competitions and those things are not to be used to grade a team.
But they are the competitions that should be used. In fact, that's why the Champions League, no team that has ever gotten to the final the first time has won it. It's a team, it's a competition that rewards hard work and quality.
So
when Bayern were the best team in Europe, they won the Champions League.
When Chelsea won it from the first time against the same Bayern Munich team,
yes,
they were not the best team in Europe.
They beat Bayern Munich.
That's all. They were not the best team in Europe.
But they beat Bayern Munich. On their way to winning, they beat Barcelona.
And I'm saying
they beat Bayern Munich. You cannot beat Bayern Munich and beat Barcelona and not be deserving winners.
They beat Atletico Madrid. They beat Real Madrid.
Yes.
We all saw those games, though.
We did.
We all saw the game.
So now you're saying they won, but they didn't deserve to win. Now that's what you're saying.
Come on, man.
No, but coach, even if Chelsea finished 4th, we understand. Look, that was circumstances. They played 2 halves of the season, one with a very poor manager.
No, but who employed Lampard for them? I did.
Oh, but that's not.
Is it not Chelsea?
So now you're losing the plot.
I'm not losing it.
You're shifting the goalposts of the argument.
You are running away from the fact that when Chelsea is bad, it is an Lampard. That's what
true, because the numbers don't lie.
And I'm saying that nobody employed Lampard for them.
Yes, but we're saying that period is over. Don't use that because you can't.
And I'm saying that when Tuchel came,
yes,
he went all the way to win the Champions League.
Right.
And he placed 4th.
Yes.
Well, you don't want to accept
when
that.
When he came, do you know where Chelsea were?
He took them from 10.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
So that is progress. That is proper progress. You can see.
But Ole's own is not progress.
Why are you going to Ole?
No,
we're talking Chelsea and Bayern Munich here.
Listen, coach, when Ole came, this Man United team, 6th, 3rd, 2nd. Granting here has always said that is not progress.
Coach,
I don't get
progress is, and this is progress. A manager walks into a team in shambles. The team is 10th. The team everybody knows the team has no chance of winning the Premier League. He says they have no chance of winning the Premier League. All other competitions, we can win. He reaches the final of an FA Cup, goes to win the Champions League, and don't do like winning the Champions League is nothing.
They won
the Champions League, and this one I will attack you personally. You said Atletico Madrid will beat them. Chelsea beat Atletico. You said Real Madrid will beat them. Chelsea beat Real Madrid. You said Man City will beat Chelsea. Chelsea beat Man City. They went to 4th in the Premier League, and they were with the your own Manchester United, our very own Manchester United. As at the last day of the season, they were still in the top 4 fight. That is progress.
Not with Manchester United.
That is progress. And then you start a new season this time around.
Chelsea on the last day of the season was not in the fight with Man United. Man United on the last day had already played 2nd. Don't make that statement. They were competing with Leicester.
So
they won the Champions League against all odds as at the time he took over. That is progress.
We will come here. They will get beat.
That is progress. Winning the Champions League after taking
I think you're missing the point.
I'm not.
You're missing the point. Thing is making
what I'm saying is that I agree
Chelsea will lose games.
No, he didn't say that.
No, hold on. It will happen.
I didn't say Chelsea
they were going to go.
I said I cannot see who will beat them.
But he knows that somebody will beat them.
Somebody will beat them. I just can't see who.
That's all. Therefore, nobody will beat them.
No, that's not what it means.
That's not. Listen.
Okay, Nimley, hold on. That's
Chelsea
okay.
will be playing against teams. But if you look at all the teams, then
last
nobody
season,
can beat
and you
them.
remember, last season I said in the Champions League, I couldn't see anybody who would beat Chelsea, and Chelsea won. But in the league, there were teams who could beat them.
And you're repeating yourself.
But this time, I'm saying that as it stands, I don't know who will beat. Look, if you look at the way teams are playing, the way teams are shaping up.
Chelsea.
Now you mentioned them, right? Okay, and you said starting next weekend, no? Okay, all right. Let's move in. Let's go to Spain now. In fact, no. Let me show you the 4 Bundesliga results. Sorry, first before we move to Spain. There you go. Some of the other results there. Hertha Berlin, they beat Greuther Fürth 2-1. Bayern Munich's result, you see, confirmed. Augsburg beating Mönchengladbach. Hoffenheim, Bielefeld ended 0-0. Cologne, Leipzig 1-1. So Leipzig struggling this season. Leverkusen won away. Stuttgart. Dortmund's results against Union Berlin 4-2. Wolfsburg also 1-1 against Frankfurt.
Just interest. I don't think I've ever seen this before. When in a Bundesliga game week we have 2 goalless draws.
Yeah,
I don't think it happened.
I don't remember the last time.
All right. This week we only have one game to show you in the La Liga, and even that one there were no goals involved. It was Atletico Madrid hosting Athletic Bilbao. I have to point out though that earlier today, Real Madrid came from behind to beat Valencia 2-1 away from home. Vinicius Junior and Benzema turning things around after they went down. So that is crucial for them. They go top of the table. This is the Atletico Madrid game. So Atletico, Christopher, you always have question marks about Simeone. This is another one of those examples. They played at home against Athletic Bilbao. This season they haven't been scoring much. Now Real Madrid have taken control of the top of the table.
Exactly. And I think that, look, player for player, I think these guys can express themselves better.
Yeah.
It is the coaching that has completely limited them, and it's gotten them to struggle to win games. Yes, they are winning games, but if you look at the manner they are going about winning their football games, come on, man, it has to improve. And I think the most expensive player in this team is the Portuguese boy, isn't it?
Yeah, João Felix.
He's always on the bench. He's only introduced when they are struggling and they need somebody to come and save them.
Why do you spend so much money?
Why do you spend so much money? Over 100 million euros was spent on that boy. And for me, if this, of course, it is Diego Simeone, he will not change who he is. He will not change his coaching philosophy. He will always stick to what he believes is the game plan. And look, don't get me wrong, he's been very successful over the years.
Of course,
he's won the
with
La
that
Liga
philosophy.
with that philosophy. So why should he move away from that? But there are times against certain opposition, you need to liberate your team a bit more and get in the more creative players to come in there and play. When you're playing against the likes of Real Madrid, where, come on, it is that tight.
Right.
Then if you are overly pragmatic, it is accepted. But when you are playing at home and you are playing against teams like this, these are teams you should go and beat.
Interesting. So not going great for them. Barcelona were not in action this weekend. They're in action tomorrow, Monday night, against Granada. So that's what you should look forward to. But let me show you the 4 results from La Liga this weekend as well. Starting from the bottom, Barcelona Granada is on Monday. Valencia Real Madrid ended Valencia 1, Real Madrid 2. The other results: Vallecano 3-0 against Getafe. Celta Vigo losing at home to Cadiz. Elche also drawing with Levante. Alaves lost at home to Osasuna. Mallorca drew 0-0 with Villarreal. Sociedad Sevilla ended in the same scoreline. And Betis and Espanyol in a 13-2 draw. All right, let me take some messages before we wrap it up. Asante Achim Chelsea says, Christopher Nimley just finds it hard to be impressed by Chelsea, a typical Man United supporter. Mercy loved it on their Koranteng. Eli Fiele says, I love everything Koranteng does and says. He's so objective and he doesn't mind saying the facts even if it's not his team. As for Christopher Nimley, it seems he's heard Chelsea's performing so well. He just doesn't want to admit the hard work Tuchel has done.
I know you are selecting the messages just to come at me. I was going to tell you that exactly what you go through. There are Man United supporters who are also sending messages to you. Okay, what I'm saying. Select those messages. He's selecting. He's always been. He's always happy when they are coming at me.
Oh, no. I've got more. Says Coach Nimley is losing all his arguments today, friends, and I can't stop laughing. Danny is beating him on the floor, and you are adding salt to his injury.
No, Danny has the liberty to say Chelsea will not be beaten. I cannot say they will be beaten.
I'm the one reading my messages. That one you are blocking.
They don't understand. They don't understand the argument. He said you can see the teams that will be there. I said I can see.
Okay, Kofi Jesse says I think the Man United in Coach Nimley is speaking tonight when he was talking about the Chelsea team, but not his analytical lenses. All right. Everybody says you are just hating on Chelsea.
No,
honestly,
I admitted that.
I'm not selecting the message. That's what they are saying.
That.
They say you are refusing to give them credit.
But that statement that he cannot see is his. I say I can see. I don't have the right to say.
Yes, but you see, when we went into the nitty-gritties of your argument, that's where it became obvious that
nitty-gritty of what?
Of your argument.
That what? That Bayern Munich will beat them?
Yes. You also said that when they won the Champions League, they were not great. Look, and you said you are not. Then you said you are not using their Champions League win to grade their how good they are.
If you go back to that Champions League that Chelsea won,
that is one. That's one statement.
The one they won.
Yes. That's one statement. You took credit away from them. Then with this one, no.
I said in my view, they didn't deserve to win.
They won. But also this one, you said you don't use Champions League glory to measure the strength of a team. You made that statement right here.
I prefer using the league. 38 games, to me, is a better stretch to measure how good a team is.
So the team that finished third, hold on. So the team that hold on. So you're saying that, no, wait. So the team that finished third in the Premier League to Chelsea's fourth is better than Chelsea, even though Chelsea won the Champions League.
Look, I don't know why you people are getting this wrong.
You say you're using the league as the...
I'm saying that
yes.
I prefer a longer stretch
to
measure...
Who finished third last season?
That's what I'm saying. That's a fair
Why can't you want to see that? You don't want to see that.
Look, that is a fair
You don't want to see that.
What I'm saying is that in this particular instance, you cannot measure Chelsea's entire season.
The fourth place, yes.
The very... Look,
I didn't say Chelsea
the very
didn't have
reason
a
why
successful
Chelsea is
season.
on top right now in their coach is not the one who took them through. If you are measuring from the time Tuchel came, I think Chelsea was second on that league since Tuchel took over Chelsea in the league. I think they were second.
Only Man City got more points than them.
So that is where you measure from. And even that, they are above Man United.
Check the records.
And that is fact.
Okay.
It's not true. Check the records.
Hold on.
Check the records.
We don't have time, unfortunately. We'll check the records when we leave here. But the arguments will continue
when we say certain things,
Christopher,
you should get the context.
Yeah.
Get the context right. All those watching, they should get the context right.
But you're not hitting on Chelsea.
Come on, what do I don't have anything against them.
That's all I just needed to hear. All right, Chris.
You have things against my team.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. As usual, lovely. Koranteng. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show from wherever you tune in. My name is Fentuo Tahiru. Until next Sunday, thank you for your time. You take care and bye-bye.